576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Hello and welcome in, everybody, to a wacky Wednesday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, the Captain Cool. Oh yeah, rolling like nothing's going bad.
Someone lose a grenade?
Oh yeah, I sure hope not. Make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, on Facebook at The Blitz Sports Radio, and on Twitter at @TheBlitz_sports to keep up with all the updates, all the behind the scenes, all the poll questions we'll be asking you guys. It's a fun time over there. So that's @TheBlitz_sports on Twitter. And then while you're at it, go and follow us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV. That'll give you guys a little bit more of an inside look in the studio, into me and the Bandi Man, the Chad, the Scuba Steve, everybody just chilling out. You get to see amazing stuff from both our station as well as our sister station, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And if you want to call in and join the conversations or create an audible, you can call us at 256-576-4977. And this first hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. I was laying in bed yet again, listening to the water hit my roof as it rained outside, and let me tell you, I wouldn't have been able to be so comfortably laying in my bed if it wasn't for the Fleming roof above my head, okay? Nothing was getting in, and I was just chilling out, listening to it, and I fell asleep, and you know what? I woke up dry, and I didn't have to worry about anything because I knew that Fleming roof had me strapped. Good on that. Make sure you guys look them up online and fill out your free quote today. You never want any more of those leaks to get into your house, so make sure you got a Fleming roof above your head. And remember this, they always show up. You're live hanging with the chillest crew of two in sports radio. In the booth, the Chad?
Was it the Chad?
No! The
Chad was great. Chad was great.
What's going on, man? How you
Yo,
doing
dude, this makes me so happy. I'm doing really good. I mean, it doesn't make me happy, but it also makes me happy that, hey, we got a little guest star right here, okay? It is the Chad, popping up, doing what he's got to do, helping me out in the first segment of this show. Chad, how are you doing today? I know you just got out for your own show.
I'm doing all right. Yeah, no, I'm just, doing in between work. But, it is what it is. It's just how we do around here. We got to pick up the slack.
Exactly.
We kind of have to help each other out.
Yeah.
Everybody has their days. I understand.
Now, do we want to? No, I don't know if we want.
No. We'll be okay. He can come and he can explain. When
Yeah, I'll let him do.
It's a lot of fun when you're able to joke about that.
Exactly.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what this whole show is really about. It's about just being able to joke. It's a little bit more of a smooth running, sports talk show with just a bunch of bros, either two, but maybe three.
Don't tell your dad.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, no. Well, the way he pitched
Don't tell the big dog.
The way he pitched this show to me in the first place was he's like, I just want, two, 20-somethings talking sports, talking girls, talking anything, a 20-something would talk about.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talk mainly sports. We keep it a little bit professional, but we get into the gaming, of course. We get into a little bit of the fun talk. So it's like, it's just like that. And I mean, since you're in that chair, I've been asking Bandi some questions as of late. So I get you a question right out the bat, okay? Yeah. Chad, I know we got a lot to get into, but why not just throw it right off the bat? Yeah. I don't know where the website that I was using went, but it's okay because we got some simpler ones. But let's see. Okay, here we go.
I did a quiz on your dad's show. Now I'm doing a quiz on this show. This would be a lot of fun.
That is pretty cool. Okay, so what was your very first job?
I worked at Rave Motion Pictures here in town.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I think it's AMC. I think it's AMC Pictures now or something like that. But it was Rave Motion Pictures, and that was my first job in high school. Okay. I was 16.
What do you do in that type of job?
Everything actually. It's like here. I was I did custodial work, so you went and cleaned the. Once the movie was out, you cleaned it real quick. Spit, people spitting on the floor,
Yeah.
dip spit, popcorn everywhere. People just leaving drinks that they brought in, stuff, alcohol.
Jeez.
Just finding multiple things. Box office work, concession stand work. A lot of people hated doing concessions because that was obviously the most hectic time, especially between 6 and pretty much 6 and 9 o'clock was like the most hectic time to be in a concession stand. So that's where they put me a lot of times because I was good with people, and then I was also just a really good worker when it came to like getting popcorn and
I can
all
agree.
those hot dogs and everything. Because Rave was like before all the other they would do like real authentic stuff. They were trying to go like over the top than most other places.
Okay.
But yeah, that was my first job.
That's pretty cool.
You did like everything there, but it was cool to have a walkie-talkie and like have it turned all the way down and kind of like hide in a movie theater because that's everybody that did the custodial work. That's all they ever did was they were just hanging out in the studios watching movies while they were waiting on another auditorium to get out.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It sounds more interesting than my first job. I worked at Burger King.
Hey, that's not terrible.
It's not.
I would have definitely worked at one of those places if I had tried. But I got the job at Rave so quickly that it was just like, hey, this is my first job. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
you might
gonna
as
go
well.
do this. And working in movie theaters actually does have its perks. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Getting to take like big bags of popcorn home at the end of the day or whatever, or like getting into movies before they came out.
Yeah.
There were multiple movies I got to see before they came out. So
See, there
that
you
was
go.
a lot of fun too.
I mean, that's an interesting first job to have.
Burger King, I
I'm-
would have been that so I could have made the sponge all the time. Are you kidding me? I'm kind of jealous of that.
I
I was
mean,
thinking about that.
Okay, so at Burger King, the things that I did behind the scene that nobody saw, which first off I could say, when I was at Burger King, this is when Burger King was on the rise, okay? It was
Yeah.
starting to become a little bit better of a chain restaurant. Now it's back down to one of the worst places. I can even say that because I don't work
I
for
missed
them.
the one on South Parkway, and if anybody's listening and they live in this area of Huntsville, Alabama, the South Parkway one that was there for forever, that one had like, it had like, it would look like a jungle when you walked in, and it looked like a church. When you walked in, it had like stained glass, like,
What?
I'm serious, it had like stained glass like windows and stuff, and it had like, inside it was like all wooden, and it had like fake plants, and some were real plants and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So like back in the day, I think it used to be more of a loungy area.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like they're all cheap, and they went with like the same thing, and they're all making them look nice and new.
Yeah,
and everything, but there's no playground. You don't have anything. You know what I mean?
It's sad because the
Yeah.
other day I actually saw a Burger King that had the play place, you know, and it didn't have the play place or like the actual playground inside of it. So it was just this big,
Yes.
just square area that just had nothing in it. And I'm just like, that
Yeah.
stinks. And
It's a waste. It's just a waste of
yeah,
space.
the last authentic Burger King that I went to was actually in, I believe it was Cherokee, North Carolina. Is that where
Yeah.
it's at? And it was just like, it threw me right back. And they were doing a Stranger Things like promotion. I was just like, this is perfect.
This isn't Burger King related, but it's obviously a restaurant related. But the McDonald's that was on the McDonald's that's on the Parkway,
Yeah.
like, right down the street from the studio. They had the authentic like over 1 million sign.
Yeah.
out there, and it actually got sent to I think it was like some other state. It's in like it's in some museum now.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
it's just
cool.
it's so frustrating to see that they have it. And it's just like that thing should be here in Huntsville, Alabama, and it should be promoting McDonald's burgers.
Yeah, it's
not
pretty.
somewhere
It's
in a
pretty
different
sad.
state.
It's pretty sad to see what is happening to all the chain restaurants or chain fast food companies because even Taco Bell, we got McDonald's, we got Burger King, all of these companies, and I know this has nothing to do with anything else, but this is what I want out of these questions. It starts off the conversation of just stuff.
Yeah.
And what happened to all of these companies is they've turned to this modernistic type of vision where all of them look, slightly different, but they still have that same basis. Whereas old McDonald's, they used to have the fries.
Yeah.
They used to look classy.
I mean,
okay?
you would have like the buildings that were made out to the that's why I
Yeah.
like Whataburger because
Yeah.
they're still kind of like that,
Mhm.
and there's other kind of places that are like that as well that kind of keep their buildings a little different than everyone else.
Which we're getting a new Whataburger. I noticed that actually on the way to
on the
my
north.
house. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's. I think nowadays, I think people like they're just trying to make it so much cheaper, so much easier.
Yeah.
That's why you have like
Mainstream.
when you walk in, you have like instead of walking up and talking to someone when there's no one in the building,
There's kiosks.
You could go to the kiosk
Ugh,
and order your food,
hate
and
it.
it's like I remember when like people stopped doing the playgrounds in restaurants like that because like
COVID
the
killed
ones that
it.
were I wouldn't say that. The ones that were outside all the time. So for instance, like the McDonald's on South Parkway.
Yeah.
That one had a ball pit, and it was outside and it was outdoor and all that stuff. So all these places had ball pits.
I love the ball pit. I never got to go into one in McDonald's. It's
I think
insane.
the reason why they stopped doing that was because, like in Texas, a little girl got bit by a rattlesnake in a ball pit.
Oh
and it
my!
happened like multiple times where like kids, like children, were getting bit by like brown recluses or
I could see
spiders
that.
or something like that because the ball pits were never like
Checked.
refilled or cleaned or whatever. But it's outside. Like, how are you going to stop doing that? And I think now it's like that was a huge like, safety factor with children. I think that's the reason why they quit doing that, because it's like we can't have McDonald's liable for children, getting hurt.
When you think about the ball pits, you look back on them and you're just like, it's an awesome idea. Remember like the area that they were all in? I remember the only time I've been into one of those ball pits, there were no balls in it, and it was like similar to that Burger King with nothing on it. It was just like you jump in there. But no, the whole like, just imagine just a snake popping out of a side of a ball pit. You're just like, okay, I think I'm done playing in the play place. I think I'm out of here.
Well, I'm gonna get out of this chair because the man of the hour is here.
Yes.
So let me get out of the way. But I appreciate you asking me that because, like I said, it was a lot of fun working in a movie theater, and working in movie theaters, like I said, had its perks.
For sure.
And I can only imagine working in a Burger King, because seriously, I would make chicken sandwiches, the long one every single day. Put like special sauce on it too, because they changed it up.
Just speaking of what I literally did on lunch. Okay, I got 4 chicken nuggets.
I made so many like different like crazy things. I had a buddy work at Taco Bell do the same thing. Just change it up and put sauce on stuff that's not supposed to go on.
Before you hop out of here, I will say I used to get first off, I love chicken sandwiches. All right, that's all I get. But I had to change stuff up whenever I worked there. So I got the original chicken sandwich, just the long bun. Okay,
the sponge.
I got that one. Popped it open. 4 chicken nuggets across it, 2 pieces of cheese, some lettuce, farmhouse sauce, because there used to be a farmhouse king.
No, I remember that.
That sauce was bussin', and then we also put bacon on it.
Yeah.
And then let it ride.
It
tasted amazing.
I miss when you could be able to like you kind of have to ask for it, but I miss when you could be able to like change it up a little bit. McDonald's did that for a little while, where
Special
like you could
menu.
put stuff on what you wanted, and it tasted really good, and then they changed it up, and it just got worse. Yeah. So.
Well.
But yeah.
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah.
It was a good conversation. That is the Chad. Helps out with the Tom Abraham show as well. Just does really everything. Couldn't be more grateful for him. But now look at this guy. The Bandi Man. Play the song, Chad, while you're over there. The Bandi Man. There it is.
What is up, Captain Cool?
Hey, Bandi. How you doing?
On a rough Wednesday.
A rough Wednesday, but it's going to get wacky. I mean, it's just how it is. It starts out like that. But, Bandi, we've already introduced the show. We already had the first question, so you don't have to deal with any questions today. But I will say, I don't think we need to talk Vanderbilt basketball for a while now because of what happened last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I think Jerry Stackhouse put it best in the post-game interview. It's like, they were just the next team on the schedule, and we had a mission coming out of that Oklahoma road loss, and by God, Vanderbilt took the brunt of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at the first half of this game, Vanderbilt only scored 15 points. This is looking like something we've seen at Buckhorn a few times, all right? They hold them to a few points, and then the rest of the game is just miserable. And that's exactly what happens. And it stinks because we got to see both sides of this picture. We talked with Benedetto on Monday. Then we talked with Bishop on Tuesday. We got both sides. We were hyping it up. Then we expected something a little bit better, and this is the turnout that happened. And let me tell you, some of these Alabama players were just going off. And it was mainly just something that they all really came together and did, but we had numerous players getting over 10 points in this game. Starts with Brandon Miller. Obviously, he's going to be scoring some points. He had 8 rebounds, 3 assists on the night, 22 points altogether. This kid was going off. Then you go down the lines. Charles Bediako, he was also hitting, and he had 10 points on the night, 3 rebounds. And then you go through and you see a little bit more like Rylan Griffin, and then you go down even more and you see Burnett, and then you go down even more, you see Gurley. All of these guys hitting over 10 points, plus the assists and rebounds that they had was spectacular performance. And then on Vanderbilt's side, most of Vanderbilt's team didn't even score 1 bucket. Again, they had 15 points in the first, 29 in the second. That is all she wrote. 101 to 44 is the score we got. That is something you don't want to see if you were Vanderbilt, okay?
No, not at all.
Alabama fans, don't worry. That Oklahoma loss, it's going to happen, okay? You're going to lose some games. Some of them are going to be bad. But being able to rebound the way they did against a Vanderbilt team that is still not that bad, okay? This team has beaten Arkansas. They've beaten LSU. They've done all that stuff. But Alabama's still Alabama Crimson Tide, and this is going to be the Alabama basketball team we've known and loved all throughout the year, and now we're going to get to see it continue on because they got a lot more challenges to come up. I feel like it was just bad time, bad place for Vanderbilt. There's two ways to look at it. It was either we're going to catch them while they're down, or they are going to roller us. Okay, and you know that meme very well, Bandy Man. But it was a game. It was a game to say the least. But let's get into some of the news because we haven't even started on the main headlines, and today is February 1st. Yes, we've made it to month number 2 of the 2023 year already. We're going through it, and I wanted to say, back in 2001, in week 2, the Patriots faced off against the Jets when starting quarterback Drew Bledsoe was hit hard by Mo Lewis, which took him directly out of the game. And a young startup second-year quarterback Tom Brady had to come in, and the rest was Hall of Fame history. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the GOAT later on during the cool segment of the show, but let's just say he's retiring again.
Yep. Again.
And I feel like he was in, like, it wasn't Myrtle Beach. It looked like Fort Myers behind him, the way he was just like, I guess I'll pull up my phone and I'll start taking a video of me saying I'm going to retire because I'm out of here. Thailand?
That was in Thailand? I mean, I wouldn't be
He's
surprised.
just making a joke.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The man lives in Tampa, okay?
Yeah, but we did hear that thing was recorded like pretty far in advance, so he's been sitting on that video for a while.
Oh, really? Well, I guess he could have just went down to the beach at any moment to film that because the man does live in Tampa. He does have a very smoking hot girlfriend, and you know what? He's living the best life. And you know what? Why not retire now when you can, make a new family? No, I don't want to go into all of that stuff. Either way, retiring, I'm going to talk about it more later, but still. Retiring once at the exact same time last year and then retiring again this year at the exact same time, think about that and think about, well, was that 1 year worth it? He made it back to the playoffs. Didn't do much in the playoffs, but he made it there.
Yeah.
He still
he
showed
got
people.
To the wild card.
Yeah, he still showed people he had it at the ripe age of 45. And you know what? Now he's got a nice little 25 next to his side. So good on him, I guess. And then the Tennessee Titans, along with many other NFL teams, will be switching to a new type of turf heading into next season in wake of the injury rate going up with many natural grass fields compared to the brand new turf technology featuring monofilament matrix helix turf with organic infill that retains moisture better than synthetic fields using rubber. I didn't think I'd have to talk that much right off the bat, but yeah, the Titans are the first to make the leap to this new type of turf, and they've been using it actually in their practice facilities throughout last season, and Coach Rabel commented on the new field saying, quote, just witnessing our players inside and how they feel and how they respond on that product, very nice. That's good. I mean, I hope this is better than the turf we've got right now because still, people are hyperextending their legs. There are a lot of ACL injuries going down. I don't want that type of turf. I want a new type of turf, and maybe this matrix helix turf, organic infill that retains moisture better type of turf is going to help out the NFL. And you know what? Maybe it'll feel a little bit more like grass because I hate falling on normal turf, and I know the players don't like it either.
I mean, at this point, what's stopping them from doing a petition and going into just all grass?
Well, the thing,
did you know? Because I do know some fields don't have domes.
Yeah.
And they're incredibly cold.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Green Bay.
Even Tennessee at times. But I mean, that's the whole thing. The Tennessee Titans, they had a normal grass field. They had a natural grass field. And you know what? It's worked fine for them, but as we saw in the last 2 years, there have been 90-plus injuries or 90-plus different players playing on this field because of the injuries that have been happening to this team. So at the end of the day, you think about it, you're like, yeah, we do see a lot of these bad ACL injuries from these turf fields, but then there's still some damage coming from the natural grass, from the sod that gets put in. It takes a lot more maintenance. It's slippery at times.
That is true.
You look at it at different ways, and then you're thinking, well, maybe there just needs to be this new type of turf. And, well, that's kind of what we're getting with this monofilament matrix helix turf that we're getting in the coming years, which is actually pretty cool. I can't wait to see what it looks like, how it feels, and how the players will respond to it in the end. But we will see as the time goes on. And then later on in the show, I'll be talking a little bit more about Tom Brady, and also I'll be getting into a little bit more of the ticket prices for the Super Bowl and what you can expect if you can get in. And then the Bandy Man's got all of the stuff with the play-by-play. Bandy, what do you got today?
Well, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, it got delayed. But not by much.
Okay.
Not by much.
Okay.
couple weeks.
Okay.
And not only is Apex Legends mobile shutting down, but another AAA Warzone kind of mobile game is
Warzone?
Not Warzone.
It's not Warzone? Okay.
But another one's getting shut down.
All right. See ya, Battle Royale.
Yeah, and we're finally getting nerfs to Ramattra in Overwatch 2.
Very nice.
Not until Season 3, though.
Oh, well.
So it'll be a while.
Season 3 looks like it's coming. I saw a trailer for it. Okay. What was her name? Himiko?
Kiriko, yeah.
Kiriko, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Himiko. Kiriko, though, on the other hand, I mean, I saw her new skin. That's pretty cool stuff, okay? It looks like Season 3 is right around the corner, but I know it's probably a little bit farther off. But it's okay because we'll figure it all out in time, and you guys will be figuring it out with us here on the Afternoon Blitz. When we get back, we will be getting right into the cool segment, and then later on in the show, we will have one Mr. RJ White to talk about the NFC AFC matchups as well as the Super Bowl coming up in the near future. So you guys don't go anywhere, because when you come back, you'll be listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. This week, our zone deal is $50 worth of Cheeseburger Bobby's for half price, just $25. Get yours Friday at 97.7 ESPN.com.
The Stretch Zone, with 2 locations in the Tennessee Valley, will get you ready for whatever spring activities you have planned, from golf to tennis or just to increase your general activity. The Stretch Zone can get you limbered up to feel your best. Plus, you'll be taught the best stretches that you can do on your own in between visits to one of our 2 locations in Hampton Cove in Huntsville or on Balch Road in Madison. Visit StretchZone.com for more information. That's StretchZone.com, and be the best of you. Learn more at StretchZone.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seat, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop in the University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
The Blitz has been called.
I'm high on believing. Oh, by the way, do you know that Rashada found a home?
Really?
Yeah.
Jaden Rashada?
Yeah, he's finally found a home. He actually visited with TCU and Arizona State in the last 2 weeks, and he made a decision this morning.
Oh.
Only hours, I think it was like an hour before the show, maybe a few hours before the show, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Welcome back, everybody, to the Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi man, Bailey Lowry.
Yep.
And we're already getting into some fun, but to make sure you guys can get into more of the fun on our online side of things at the blitzsportsradio.com. You can find all the fun stuff on that site there, so go and check that out. Make sure you guys have our apps as well, the Blitz Sports Radio and our sister station, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, because me and Bandy Man will be on The Zone tomorrow night because our good old friends Buckhorn going up against Scottsboro. That's going to be a very nice matchup.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's their last game of the regular season, so I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to a convincing win from the Buckhorn Bucks to finish it off.
I want to see them finish off in the best way they can possibly, but you guys can call in on the show at 256-576-4977 because we will be getting into some Tom Brady talk here in a little bit. I know you've probably heard enough about it, but we're going to kind of go over his career, all of the legacy that he's leaving behind in the NFL after his 23 years in the league, and you guys can call in and talk about maybe like the first time you were like, this guy actually could be the GOAT, or you just talk about why you hate him so much and what he did to your team because he's done everything to everybody's team. You know he has, okay? Even the Patriots, even the Bucks, yes, he's done it to all of us, so we're all very upset about that. But at the end of the day, he still is one of the greatest players to play the game, and then we're going to get into some of the Super Bowl talk. That's all coming up on the What's Cool segment.
It's getting hot in here.
So hot in here.
That's
spicy meatball.
So it's time to cool down with Captain Cool.
You know what cool is?
Jaden Rashada finally picking a place, because that's what we're going to get into first, all right? I talked about it a little bit. We've been looking at this story for a while, okay? He was supposed to go to Florida. There was an NIL deal. There was money on the table. $14 million. Turns out that money was all fake.
All fake?
Not really. It just wasn't there.
Really?
I mean, it just wasn't there. They didn't have
monopoly
it.
money.
So pretty much, yeah. He looked at it. He was like, oh, that's a lot of money. He was like, oh, wait, let me look a little closer. That ain't real. That ain't money. Okay? So he ended up decommitting. He left, went back home to California, and he said, maybe I'll just stay out west. And that's exactly what he did, because now the Arizona State Sun Devils have a brand new 4-star quarterback coming in, and that is one Jaden Rashada. Good on him, honestly. I mean, finding a place this soon, it was right at the end of the committing line, okay? He had to be on a team by the end of today, or I don't think he would have been able to find a team until next year. So it's good to see he's on a squad. It's sad to see that Florida and the SEC lost such a star player. But, I mean, if you're going to play college football for the money, they didn't have it. So, yeah, got to go somewhere else. Maybe Arizona State will be able to throw some shekels towards that kid's way, and he could be living a little happier going forward into his football career. But good on that. Now, I want to get into the GOAT, all right? I want to talk about the GOAT because we saw a video this morning. The man is retiring. He's done. Second time he's done this, but he can't do a grand old speech because he's already done it before, and he kind of loses it.
Yeah, he's already done it once.
Exactly. So, I feel like I can only do this once, and if he does it to me again where he comes back into the league, I'm not going to do this again, but I like to pay respect to legacies like his. I've done it with Serena Williams. I did it with other players like Albert Pujols. Yeah, I did it with Albert Pujols. Remember that? That's when I sat over there. I did both of those whenever I sat in the corner over there, and Bandy was sitting in the seat that I'm sitting in right now. But he has called it a career, and I got to be honest. I feel pretty sad. I'm going to miss him, okay? Because whenever you look at the sport and you see the number 12, what's the first thing you think of?
Yeah, Probably Tom Brady.
Yeah, probably Tom Brady. Now, back in the day, obviously, you think of some other stars that repped the number 12. You think of Jim Kelly. You think of others. I can't name them off. I would think Josh Gordon. I would love to think Josh Gordon, but he didn't really last too long. In one of the only years he played, he was number 13. Yeah, you know that one?
I didn't.
It's his first year in the league.
He was 13 his first year?
He's 13 his first year. Same number he wore back in Baylor. And you know what? I wanted to get his number 12 jersey, but then a little bit after, he kind of fell into that slate of all the greenery, and he couldn't come back into the league until he came back with the Seattle Seahawks and all that whatnot. But we're not talking about that number 12. We're talking about the GOAT himself, and that is Tom Brady. Now, last time, it was like 40 days we had to wait until he came back into the league. That's when everything started going down with his wife saying, hey, I don't know if I could do this anymore. You said that you were going to only play 10 years, and then you kept playing, and then you kept playing, and then you said you were going to be done, and then you were done, and now you're back in the league. I don't know if I can handle this. So she had to grab the kids and go.
What's also kind of crazy is that, he made the same retirement announcement, literally the same time last year.
Exact same date and everything. It's insane to think about. So we have 40 days to figure out if he's coming back in the league, all right? Yep. He's already played 23 seasons in the NFL, dating all the way back to 2001.
I'm trying to figure, what is 40 days from now?
Probably next month. It's probably going to be the 10th.
Yeah, like pretty much second week in March.
Yeah, second week in March.
We got until second week in March to see if he's going to come out of retirement again.
Yeah.
But this also kind of brings up the question, because I've seen a lot of people on social media say, like, we should just skip the Hall of Fame, like, 5-year requirement for players like this. What do you think about that? Like, with someone as storied of a career as Tom Brady, and who's regarded as the greatest quarterback of all time, if not the greatest NFL player of all time, what do you think about that argument about skipping the 5-year wait requirement for a 45-year-old Tom Brady?
I mean, I think that it would be a fine thing if they pushed it forward a little bit, like maybe 3 years instead. I don't think it should be an instant thing. I don't think right as soon as he's out, he should get into the Hall of Fame. 5 years, you know he's not going to come back when he's 50 years old, okay? So that's when you can write off, this guy, he is now a legend, and he can be put into this Hall of Fame. But I don't think you should go right into the Hall of Fame. And same with J.J. Watt. I mean, he's done. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame at the exact same time as Tom Brady. J.J. Watt's a lot younger than Tom Brady, I'll say that much. It's insane to think about whenever he came into the league compared to how long Tom Brady's been playing, okay? But you look at that and you think, 5 years? I mean, he's going to be 50 when he's in the Hall of Fame. And that's a pretty old age to be in the Hall of Fame, but you know what? That's just how it's supposed to be. I don't know what like extra perks you get for being in the Hall of Fame except for being in the Hall of Fame, but everybody knows that him, J.J. Watt, and probably a few others who are retiring this year are going into the Hall of Fame, which I don't know how many other people are actually retiring. I know there's a few, but I don't know if all of them will make to the Hall of Fame. But I don't think it's a really big deal. I don't know why people would even make a big deal about it. I mean, you know he's going to be in the Hall of Fame anyway.
Yeah, it's like, and he's going to be a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
No question.
They're not going to wait any longer to put this guy into the Hall of Fame. He's going, all right?
He'll be in there as soon as year 5 hits.
Yeah, as soon as it hits, he'll be on that list. But, I mean, I got to say, throughout my time, watching the NFL and stuff like that, I've seen Tom Brady. I've never been too big of a fan. I know my brother's a huge fan of him. I know a lot of people actually love him. A lot of people hate him. But me, I've kind of been right in the middle. I was just like, well, he's not in my division, okay? He's not beating my team all the time, which he actually is, except for that one time Peyton Hillis went absolutely buck wild against that team. But I haven't really had a reason to hate him other than he's going to the Super Bowl every year. The Browns haven't had to face off in the playoffs. I hate the Chiefs more than I hate, Tom Brady and the Patriots and Tom Brady and the Bucks.
I don't know. Because it's like, he's an anomaly.
Yeah.
And that you can't really hate the guy. But at the same time, he can kind of annoy you, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's like, perfect in every single way, man. He's beautiful.
I know, but he's got the personality of milk toast.
Yeah, he's just like, hi, guys.
Yeah, like, it's very just cut and dry, like corporate kind of personality.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a person where you look at him outside of the playing field and think, oh, this guy looks fun. He looks like a guy that I'd like to hang out with. He's always been the family man. The only time we got to see a sliver of him actually come out of his shell is whenever Tampa Bay won that Super Bowl a few years back, and he was drunk off of his ass.
Yeah, it was the first time I felt like we've actually seen genuine Tom Brady.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So at that point, I was thinking, I was like, okay, Tom Brady, he could be cool. Obviously, he's just a bro. He's just getting drunk with the rest of his Florida friends. But it's like, he's not as dry, just like, I don't know, drywall. I guess drywall. I would say, yeah. Because, you think drywall, there's nothing special about drywall. That's what it is. Yeah. If you put something colorful on that drywall, though, it'll look a little bit better. So that's how I felt about that whole situation. But, I mean, there really isn't anything to like outside of everything that he's done in the NFL, which is a lot, and him getting drunk in Florida with all the rest of his Florida friends.
Yeah, it really is kind of the case of if he ruined your team's chances in the playoffs, you probably hate him.
Yeah, you probably hate him.
If you're a Patriots or a Bucks fan, you probably love the guy.
Probably love the guy, or you're just a fan of him himself, like my brother is, or thousands and thousands of women around the world, because the man is handsome. He's got a nice little jawline. That doesn't rival Henry Cavill's, but it's there, okay? And this man, he's 45. He's looking attractive for his age, I gotta say. No homo. Not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? But still, the man has been playing since I really have been born, and that's the craziest thing, okay? 23 seasons in the NFL. He's been playing this game since I've been on this planet, okay?
Yeah, he's outlasted Brett Favre.
Yeah, and he came in his second year, week 2, and was able to perform ever since then. You know how many games he's missed throughout that time that he first started?
How many has he missed?
Probably a season's worth. Yeah, it's 2008.
Wow.
He got injured at the beginning of the season, wasn't able to play the rest of the season, and that was after he went to the Super Bowl with that team. Okay, but looking back on his career, you see the things that he's done. 7 Super Bowls, okay, which that's not a surprise to anybody. 3 league MVPs. And the amount of yards that he's thrown, the touchdowns that he's thrown, the interceptions that he's thrown, all of that, I'm going to tell you the numbers in a second, but 7 Super Bowls is more Super Bowls than any other team has won. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 6 Super Bowl wins. Him and Bill Belichick had 11 consecutive 10-plus win years. Insanity.
That's kind of crazy that you have more individual Super Bowls than other whole organizations.
This one guy literally has done something that no team has been able to do for the last half a decade.
I mean, I'd probably be the most insufferable person if that was me.
I mean, people would hate you, but you wouldn't care.
I mean, it's like, you can't talk anything about me. I have more rings than your entire organization.
Got all the rings on his finger, okay? 3 league MVPs, okay? And then along the way, he's thrown 649 touchdowns, 89,000 yards, 212 interceptions, okay? And he's played in a total of 335 games.
Whew. You know, honestly, it doesn't seem like that much when you really put it into perspective.
Well, you think about how many games are in a season, Bandi. There's only 16, 17. He's played through a lot of 16-game seasons. It's insane to think about. 16 plus 16. What's that? I'm not good at math. Bandi, are you?
16 times, what, 20?
23. Put that in right there.
Hold on, okay.
Obviously, he didn't play all of them. And also, the last 2 seasons have been 17. How many is it?
368.
368. He's missed a few. He didn't play at all the first season. Okay? And then from that second week of the 2002 season, I believe, on from there, he has played. And he's only missed 1 full season. But I gotta say, congrats to a wonderful season, a wonderful career, and a wonderful life, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't be that upset, leaving after doing what he's done. Greatest quarterback ever. I'll say it right now. As much as some people hate him, as much as some people love him, you cannot deny that this man has won 7 Super Bowls.
Now, what's going to happen, though, when he gets up behind the commentator's booth?
I think it'll be fun.
You think so?
I mean, it'll be, you'll turn on the TV, you'll know it's his voice. He's got a little high-pitched voice, he's got a little swagger to his voice. That's about it. I think he'll be fine, though.
Yeah, but we've seen some cases where some really good NFL players have tried to go behind the booth and commentate a game, either for a season or for a game, and it just has not worked out.
Well, I mean, if Brady Quinn can do it, I think that Tom Brady's going to have a fine time.
Although I wonder how he'd feel if Tony Romo was better at broadcasting than him.
See?
I don't know how you feel about that.
This is the new competition now, okay? Tony Romo's never been better than Tom Brady. So this is something we're going to have to look at. That'll be interesting, though. I cannot wait to see what he does moving forward. And I'm very excited because this paves the way for the young quarterbacks to actually just have that limelight. Patrick Mahomes, he's been that guy for the last few years. But now we have Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Now we got Brock Purdy as well. Daniel Jones. Mac Jones?
Maybe. Hopefully.
I think Mac Jones is going to be fine, okay? Just give him a few times.
I hope so.
Give him a few years. And then we got plenty of quarterbacks coming in. But these young quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts is only 24. 27 years old is Patrick Mahomes. And this guy's already been to 3 Super Bowls. I mean, these guys are just insane. At a young age, they're going to be the next Tom Brady's that we see later on. And it's great that we actually get to witness it all the way through, Bandi. Because Tom Brady, we were pretty young in 2000, all right?
It's kind of crazy. I don't think I've never seen a time in professional football where Tom Brady wasn't playing.
It's insane. It is really insane. And that's why we look at that number 12. We think of number 12. We think of the GOAT. The GOAT. So you guys want to get into the Super Bowl? Well, I can't help you with that. But have you guys seen the prices for this game? Bandi, have you seen any of the tickets?
I've taken a peek at some of the prices.
A little gander. I know it's getting crazier and crazier every single year, but this year the price actually went down compared to last season, and that's actually pretty cool because maybe we can actually hop on in there.
That's good.
Look at the price now. The get-in price, just to hop inside of that building, still be in the nosebleeds, $4,778.
Oh, that's bad. That is very bad.
It's still a little bit. It's a little bit, Bandi.
In the nosebleeds for $4,500.
Just to get in there. Just to get in.
How much? Do you happen to have the price or know what the price was for like a suite or something, or like one of those box seats?
Let me see.
I think the last time I saw, I don't know if they went up or down.
Oh,
but it was sitting at like $24,000.
That's on top of the ticket price or the getting the parking passes. Okay.
Oh, how much are the parking passes?
$127.
Oh my God.
Okay. Let me see if I can filter this.
Can you at least tailgate?
Oh, probably. They're gonna make it tailgate.
Oh, yeah, it's in Arizona.
Let me see exactly what the prices are. All right, I got this thing up. All right, I want to be at the 50-yard line. All right, just to be at the 50-yard line, row 37, section 129. Oh, my
God.
Bandi, you want to throw a guess out here?
Is that all the way in the nosebleeds again?
No, this one's actually, it's pretty close. It's row 37, so it's 37 rows above the grass.
I'm going to say around like $15,000.
A little bit cheaper, actually.
Really?
Roughly around $12,000.
Oh my God.
$12,000. If you want an end zone seat, it's going to cost you $6,282. And then for better ones, obviously the price is going to go up. And then let me look at the best seats, okay?
The best seats in the house.
The best seats. Well, okay, these aren't too bad. Row 21, because I'm not getting the... I mean, I wonder if I could probably get the best... Oh, okay, now I'm taking off the other ones. It's just the best seats now. Sort by price. I want the most expensive. I want to be living in luxury. Best seat. I want the best seat. Okay, a good deal. This is what SeatGeek tells me. It's a good deal. $17,699. Okay, the price goes up though, because row 3, $19,911. Oh, it goes up though, because row 2, $22,000, my dudes, and we're not even in the suites, guys. I don't even know what the suites could probably be.
I just looked at the suites.
How much are the suites sitting at?
Do you want to take a guess?
I'm gonna say $30K.
So the ones that seat between groups of 18 to 24 people for the Super Bowl, there's one suite available starting at $1.5 million.
You gotta be kidding me.
$1.5 million.
I was gonna throw out like $100K, but geez, $1 million?
$1.5 million. And it can go up as high as 2.
Oh, boy, Bandi.
$2 million.
Just to get into this game, okay, it costs more than the car that I bought, all right? That is outside right now.
Bro, it would cost more than my lease for like 25 years.
$4,778 to get in, and it goes all the way up to millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's for a private loft.
Damn.
What about these club level suites? What are these? Club level suites. Okay, that's upcoming event section.
Yeah.
Whatever. Field boxes.
I don't think anything can beat the $1 million ticket. Okay.
I don't think so either.
It's a lot.
for a private loft at the Super Bowl, yeah, 1.5 million sounds about right.
Yeah, Bandi, I think what we should do is we should send in our media credentials and be like, hey, you guys think we can slide in here? Okay. What was it? Was it Joe that said he was going, or RJ that said they were going to the Super Bowl?
I don't remember.
I think it was Joe. Was it Joe?
It might have been Joe.
Good on Joe.
But we do have RJ in the second hour as well, so can't wait to talk to him. We can ask him too if he's going to be planning on going.
Yeah, we could bring up the whole conversation about the ticket price, but geez, still.
Yeah,
I mean,
see if you're willing to be thrown down 1.5 million for a private loft of a Super Bowl.
Yeah, remember, guys, this is cheaper. These are cheaper than last season, where it was $1,000 more to get into that game than the 4,778. Okay, and the average ticket price for normal seating was $9,800. Okay, I mean, they're getting tougher and tougher each year, Bandi. We got to just send in our stuff, okay? But what you will see, if you do get into this game is the Kelsey brothers, and first time you'll ever get to see brothers going up against each other in the Super Bowl. You'll also get to see Jalen Hurts becoming one of the youngest QBs to make it to the Super Bowl, and he would be the top 5 youngest quarterbacks if he were to win this game. Devontae Smith, what would you get out of him? Well, the guy has 2 national championships already, a Heisman Trophy, and if he gets a Super Bowl, this is something nobody's ever done before, Bandi. Because we've seen other players, Emmitt Smith, guys get their Heisman Trophy, they win a national championship, they go on and win a Super Bowl in the future. We've never seen somebody have 2 national championships, a Heisman, and a Super Bowl in their belt.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you're going to get if you go. Okay? That's insane. I mean, I think the Eagles are going to win. I would go for the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is 100% on the Eagles taking it. I mean, I think there's a better team at it between them and Kansas City.
Yeah.
But you still can't count out Patrick Mahomes, who's going to have a completely healthy ankle at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what they gave him, but it seemed like he was just turning even more on it just to kind of show, like, hey, this ankle is good.
Yeah, I told you, dude. It's like the old Blitz games where you can just go onto the side of the field after your arm just gets snapped in half and you just shoot up, get back right out in there.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing where you would completely separate your arm in, like, 2 places, and it's like you're out for 2 plays.
Ugh.
Oh, like, completely, like, level 3 severe concussion.
Yeah.
2 plays.
The X-ray that used to be in those games was ridiculous. It was M-rated for a reason, guys.
Yeah, it was wild.
I was never able to play them until recently, but they're not even that good, I'll say. They're not even that fun of games. I just play Madden instead. Either way, we're going to hop into a break, guys. When we get back, we're going to go over the first hour, we're going to preview the second, and we're going to get into all the fun to ensue. So don't go anywhere, because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today. Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
The Blitz has been called.
I love this song. That's how it's going to intro. That's how we're going to bring it back. Welcome back, everybody. Afternoon Blitz here on a wacky Wednesday on the first day of February. Oh, yeah. It's Black History Month, right, Bandi?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. Let's go. Either way, you guys know that you can find us on Twitter at @theblitz_sports. You can find us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV. And you can also get us on the app. Have us at your fingertips, the Blitz Sports Radio, as well as our sister station, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Bandi, you want to hear something cool?
What's that?
Okay. This hour is sponsored by great people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. Bandi, last night yet again, it rained, and you know what? I was chilling, feeling comfortable with that nice little Fleming roof above my head, and it was so nice. I was able to play video games. I was able to hop in bed, relax, get that good sleep, and not have to worry a lick about water getting into my house. Bandi, tell them.
There you go. I mean, yeah, with a Fleming roof, I mean, you're on those like rainy nights where it's just a nice vibe. You just want to sit down, relax.
Yeah.
A Fleming roof will always make sure you can have that experience.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about the rain picking up a little bit, because once that rain starts hitting your roof, don't worry about it, because it's like a fortress atop your head. And you know what? That rain will just go right off. And you know what? If it's windy, don't worry about it, because Fleming always shows up. And if something does happen, don't worry about it, because they do show up, and they always show up, and they make you show up. And you know what? You'll be sitting pretty comfortably whenever they're done. Good stuff over there. Good stuff over there. But you want to know something else?
What's that?
Tua has been cleared. He is good to go. If he wanted to play in the Pro Bowl, he probably could. But you know what? Come next year, he's going to be 100%. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go ahead and put it into effect, but we see it with players like this all the time. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, sadly, he gets put back on protocol pretty early in the season.
Well,
it just seems hard to recover from stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's weird, because he was in it for so long that you'd think there's something else that's going down. But I mean, the people say he's 100%. He's still got a lot of time to rest. So till next year, we'll figure that out. But good to hear that another Alabama quarterback's coming back. It's gonna be good. We're gonna have 3 Alabama quarterbacks in the playoffs next year. That's gonna be wild. I'm calling it now. Either way. When we get back, RJ White's going to hop on with us to talk a little bit of NFL. You guys don't go anywhere, because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Any Jane Doe can tell you that Geico could help you save. But since money talks, we just ask the savings instead.
Greetings and sun salutations. I'm Jane's Money, and I never knew my self-worth until Jane switched her car insurance at Geico.com. Those 15 minutes built me up to real savings. Geico's been helping customers save money like me for over 75 years. So take that to the bank. And namaste.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. The Blitz has been called. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Second hour here in the wackiest place around. That is the No Man's Land here on the Afternoon Blitz. You guys have been listening to us. We've been talking a little bit about a lot of fun stuff, but it's about to get even better because we'll have RJ White from Sportsline.com on with us here momentarily. But you can follow us on Twitter at @theblitz_sports to make sure you keep up with all of the updates that we will give to you, as well as the poll questions. We'll probably have a few going out throughout these next few weeks, so you guys keep an eye on that, as well as possible giveaways in the future. We might be throwing out some of those. You'll never know. They might hit out of nowhere, and you guys gotta stay ready for that. So make sure you're following us up on the Twitter, as well as having our app, the Blitz Sports Radio, and our sister station 97.7 ESPN The Zone. But this second hour is presented by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place to get the best vehicles for the best prices. That's right, drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you, like the Ranger, the F-150, and as well as the Maverick, the very, very nice new Maverick. You guys check out Bobby White and his crew, and they will take care of you guys. Find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. Now, Bandi, it's time to talk a little bit of Super Bowl talk, but I want to talk a little bit about these NFC, AFC championships, so that's why we got the expert on with us, one Mr. RJ White from Sportsline.com. RJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Excited for the Super Bowl. So, it's a great matchup, 2 top seeds in each conference. So we'll see how it goes.
Very nice. I mean, we're all excited. It seems like one of the better Super Bowls we've gotten in past years. And these teams that are really going into it, I want to focus on mainly the way that they got there first and looking into the NFC Championship first with the Eagles going up against a 49ers team, and you can say what you will about the Eagles having a pretty easy stroll to get here into the Super Bowl, but even going up against the 49ers, they had a bad injury with Brock Purdy going out with only 4 passes to his name that day, and it ended very, very favorably in Philadelphia's side, so 31-7 was the score. And, I mean, looking at this game, it just shows the dominance that this team can have on offense, even against the best of defenses. And that's one thing we got to look at moving forward against this Chiefs team. But kind of just talk about this one real quick. What happened with the 49ers, and mainly, if Brock Purdy did not go out with that injury, would it have been a totally different game?
I think it probably would have. I was on the Eagles going in. I thought they would win by 7-10 just because I thought Purdy going on the road as a 7th-round rookie was in a very tough spot anyway. So I think he was going to the 49ers offense was going to have trouble either way. So I'm not too surprised that they didn't score a ton of points. I don't know that even though they scored 31 points, that the Eagles offense looked very good, to be honest. They ran 70 plays. They got 269 yards, averaging just 3.8 yards per play. That's not a great showing. Now, they did convert 25 first downs. They really didn't have to do much in the second half because of how that game was going with the injury to Purdy and then Johnson. So I don't know how much you take from that, but it wasn't a great offensive showing from them. The really impressive part is how good their defense looks, now that they're healthy, especially in the secondary. We talked last week about Avonte Maddox being healthy now. That defense was whole in the secondary for the first time since, I think, week 11, week 12, and they really played like it. They really didn't allow anything in the passing game early in that game, and then the injuries happened. So I think they can make things difficult for the Chiefs. Pass rush-wise, put some pressure on the weak parts of that Chiefs offensive line and still get some pressure. But the offense really has to respond and have a better game than they did, even though they won by 24 points. It's weird to say.
It is weird to say. And I wanted to see a better matchup, obviously. We expected it with both of these games to be very close, just very competitive games. But now kind of looking forward for the San Francisco 49ers, again, they're just having these problems at quarterback. They keep just getting injured. Really, Josh Johnson even got injured. Now they just have 4 injured quarterbacks pretty much to their name. And looking forward, they're still wanting to kind of go with Brock Purdy, but he's got a little bit going on with his UCL injury, I believe. So what really is the thing that the 49ers can really hone in on moving into next season to kind of maybe fix these problems? Is it the line? Is it just the offense? Is it what's going on with that, and how can they fix it?
Yeah, they certainly do have some issues on the line. They have one of the better left tackles in the league, maybe even the best left tackle in the league in Trent Williams, but they really need to upgrade everywhere else. So that would be step one. Yeah. Step two, some of it's a little bit of a freak injury with how this went. I know a lot of people thought Purdy is the nailed-in starter going into next year before this injury. We have to remember he didn't have to do a ton offensively in some of those games. He looked very good. He played some bad defenses down the stretch. And now once he got to the playoffs and played the Cowboys and the Eagles, didn't quite look like the same quarterback. No. So I thought coming into even during Birdie's stretch that Lance could be the starter going in. I definitely thought it'd be at least a competition if both were healthy. Now we have a little bit more question about Purdy than Lance. I think Lance is probably likely to be healthy going in. But I think they invested so much in him. They obviously had an idea of how that offense would go before his injury, and they planned for executing that type of offense around his skill set that they did not really get a chance to do, and they still almost made the Super Bowl. So I think Shanahan probably goes back to the drawing board and is excited to really put into place what the plan was when they traded 3 first-round picks to get Trey Lance, and thought that he was the guy that was going to elevate this offense. Has an offense with a very high floor, as we saw with guys like a 7th-round rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, coming in and being able to manage them to the conference championship. But what's the ceiling of the offense now? And I think with Trey Lance at quarterback, it's a lot higher than it is with a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Brock Purdy or anyone else you're going to find.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, they're still sitting with some pretty good depth in that backfield. Obviously, they won't have Jimmy G going into next year unless they decide to pick him back up, but I highly doubt that with two very young, very good quarterbacks. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. We might get a really good, highly competitive QB battle on that 49ers side.
I think so. I mean, it really depends on the guy's health. This Purdy injury, they're talking about 6+ months. I mean, he's going to be behind the ball, it seems like, once they get into training camp. So it's going to be hard for him to, probably already being the underdog in it, to take over and show enough by the time we get to August that proves that he should be the starter. So we'll see what the locker room feels like. We'll feel like what the direction they want to go in. But I really think it's going to be Lance's job to lose heading into the preseason.
RJ White with us from Sportsline.com does a fantastic job covering everything NFL and betting lines as well. And moving over from the NFC to the AFC, we have the Bengals and the Chiefs. And I'm glad that my prediction was actually right and taking the under. I'm glad that actually did end up working out. But I think a lot of Kansas City's success in this matchup was really shutting down the run game of Cincinnati and Joe Mixon. And now going into the Super Bowl with the likes of having to go against Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders in a versatile running game from this Philadelphia offense, how do you expect the Chiefs to tackle this kind of run game in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think the run game, shutting on the run game was key for them, but it's also the fact that the Cincinnati offensive line, well, we know was the narrative going into the week before in that Bills game, that so many injuries, how are they going to respond? And they did very well, but they had the snow assisted on that, and they probably slowed down the Bills' pass rush. That wasn't the case in this game, where the Chiefs just had Burrow under siege, and then were able to bottle up the run game pretty well. So much different beast here in the Eagles. The Eagles typically have Jalen Hurts as the leading rusher more often than not, so it's weird to see Joe Burrow as the leading rusher in that Bengals game. So we'll see. We know that Jalen Hurts is dealing with an injury to his shoulder. They haven't wanted to risk that too much, and they haven't had to the first few playoff games because of the nature of how those games went. But it's the Super Bowl. You put your body on the line. You do what you need to do to win. So I think he's going to be out there running more than he has in these last few games, and really just doing what he needs to do to get touchdowns, get first downs, have them continue drives and go on and get points, because you're going to need points against the Chiefs. Even as well as the Eagles' defense is played, you can't count on them to shut down the Chiefs for 4 quarters. Even we saw Mahomes on his, off the 6 days or 7 days of rest or whatever it was on that ankle, still was able to put up 23 points on a pretty good Bengals defense. Now he's going to have 2 extra weeks to rest and recuperate. Hopefully he'll get some of his receivers back, because I know they dealt with a ton of injuries to the skill position players. So if that's the case, and he has a decent receiving core to throw to, and it's not just Travis Kelce for 15 targets or however many it needs to be, it'll be interesting to see if the Eagles can hold them down to that 17 to 24 point range and get the win.
And you think that, having Travis Kelce's not a bad thing, having to throw it to him as many times as he could. I mean, that it works for him at times, so it's good to see. But I kind of want to look at this matchup just overall, because going into this Super Bowl, we were thinking, it could be the Bengals going in, it could be the 49ers, and it ended up to be 2 of some of the best teams, if not the best teams in the league, that couldn't be any similar to each other. Is this the best Super Bowl matchup we could have got out of the lot of playoff teams throughout this stretch?
I think in terms of quality of teams, yes, especially with how injured the Bengals' offensive line was, and just it didn't seem like Josh Allen was right on the stretch for the Bills. So I really think the Chiefs were the most talented team coming out of the AFC, and the Eagles clearly, above and beyond all these other teams. The 3rd seed in the NFC was the Vikings, which everybody kind of expected were going to fall pretty quickly in the playoffs. The 2nd seed was the 49ers on their 3rd quarterback, who was doing a very good job, but you kind of felt like this clock was ticking there. So the Eagles really, if you wanted to get the best Super Bowl matchup, had to be the NFC representative, and I think the Chiefs are probably going to be the best AFC matchup. Now, that's in terms of quality of game and strength of teams. I think the more interesting matchup is to get teams that haven't won in a while. So would have loved to see a team like the Bengals, whose fan base has not gotten a win ever in the Super Bowl, to be able to experience that or going for that win. And then maybe a team like Minnesota, that would have been it wouldn't have been great in terms of quality, but it would have been great for those 2 fan bases to get to know that one of them was going to get a win. As a long-suffering Bills fan, I can't wait to feel what that first Super Bowl win is going to feel like if I ever experience it.
But, the way the Bills are going right now, I imagine that that time can't be too far off. I mean, they're in a good spot as an organization.
Knock on wood. You never know, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can go.
Yeah,
go
the Bills
on.
are pretty good. I worry about the Stephon Diggs stuff that happened at the end of that game. Worry about Josh Allen's injury if he can get healthy. I'm really a big proponent of coaching matters more than we evaluate, we cap for, we expect. And so when they lost Brian Daboll, you're not going to get a guy better than Brian Daboll to replace Brian Daboll. He's in the league, in my opinion. So I expected there to be a drop off in the offense just from that. Now, at times they look good, but really it seemed like they struggled offensive line wise. They struggled personnel wise. It seemed like they were less than the sum of their parts when people expected them to go to the Super Bowl. Whereas the Giants, a team that Daboll went to, were definitely more than the sum of their parts. Getting it done, reaching the playoffs with guys like Richie James and Isaiah Hodgins at receiver.
Yeah, which actually, speaking of with coaching being so important, let's talk about some of the coaching moves that actually happened during while some of these playoff games were going on, and how it could actually affect some of the teams. Like DeMeco Ryans being hired as the new head coach for the Houston Texans, as well as Sean Payton moving over and going to the Broncos. I mean, how could you see these coaching moves, especially with the likes of Sean Payton going to Denver? How could you see these coaching moves either boosting these organizations in the short term or potentially helping them out in the long term?
Yeah, it really feels like Houston, who's bounced between coaches, the last few years, has found their guy in Ryan, former player for the franchise, a very hotly contested coaching candidate this year. And for him to choose to go back to Houston really speaks a lot, because if you were a coaching candidate that was hot, that had a lot of people coming after you, would you choose that organization, considering how they play and they don't have a quarterback, they look like a complete mess? But he's can build a winner there. So I think that's really the first positive move I've seen for Houston in the last year plus with that organization, at least. And then you go to the Sean Payton thing. Some people were saying that it wasn't worth what they paid the draft picks, to trade away to get him. I disagree. I think that when coaching is so hard to do, and head coaching especially, it takes a very different skill set than being a coordinator somewhere. So you get guys that are very good coordinators that go on to be head coaches and flame out. We see it every single year because they just don't have that skill set. When you can acquire a proven guy like Sean Payton, who might be a Hall of Fame level coach, who has helped develop Drew Brees, who, that one of the arguments is that he had Drew Brees, had a Hall of Fame quarterback, anybody's going to have success there. Well, Drew Brees coming out of San Diego did not look like a Hall of Fame quarterback. There were still questions about him. They decided to move on with Phillip Rivers, drafted Phillip Rivers, and got rid of Drew Brees. You don't do that if you're nailed on. You don't do it with Patrick Mahomes after his third, fourth year. So Drew Brees, Sean Payton really helped develop him and turn him with his offensive genius into that Hall of Fame quarterback. So I think you really need somebody like that, and knowing that he knows all the intricacies and how to head coach and how to manage a game and all that. He has that unlocked. He's won a Super Bowl before. So you bring that guy in. You get a proven guy like that, you spend whatever you need to get that guy. I'm sure if you rewind 10 years, and when Andy Reid became available, the Eagles decided not to renew his contract. If you tell Chiefs fans, knowing what they know now, what would you have to trade if you had to get Andy Reid? It would be basically anything except for the Mahomes pick, by the time they got Mahomes, because he helped unlock Mahomes and turn him into one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. Mahomes coming out was not a very highly thought of prospect either in the terms of like a Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow. He went 10th overall in the draft. The Bills, my team, traded away the 10th pick, and decided to go for quarterbacks later, gave it to the Chiefs to trade down and get Trey White, and then a future first-round pick. Wasn't the consensus number one overall quarterback coming out. I mean, it seems like he was destined for greatness now, but it really wasn't the case going into the draft. But you get a guy like Andy Reid raises the ceiling, and then and it helps him reach it. I think Sean Payton can help do that, whether it's with Russell Wilson or whether it's probably the next quarterback that the franchise is going to see in a few years.
Good stuff by RJ White from Sportsline.com, doing a great job talking NFL and sporting lines. And last thing I want to end off with, because I don't want to get too deep into the Super Bowl lines because it's very early. We have a little bit of time left for that. But I wanted to ask a question about the Pro Bowl games that is actually coming up. How you feel about that, and what is the whole? Is there a betting community around that type of event even? Because I know it's kind of declining, but I want to know what type of betting can we see going into that, because I've never personally heard of anything coming out of it.
Well, the interesting thing is that, yes, you know, in the past you could bet on the Pro Bowl, and it was an event worth betting on, but depending on how they set up the rules, especially the over-unders. For a while we saw zero off defense and a lot of scoring, and it was flipped around some other times, so then sometimes you get lower score. If you're on the right side of that, you'll see these lines move 10 points, which you won't see in an NFL game, and you just got to be with the sharps and ahead of the game there. Now, this year, they've changed everything that's going on. There is no game. It's a flag football game, which is the culmination of a series of events where they're awarding points for each event, and nobody really knows what it's going to look like. Starts on Thursday with live events Thursday night, ends on Sunday. Right now, there's no odds that I've seen out for it. I've been looking because I wanted to write some content around it for Sportsline. It's done well for us in the past. Because people are interested in betting the Pro Bowl, but I just don't know if that's going to be available. It's the day before the first event, and I haven't seen anything. So we'll see. Maybe the odds makers will be comfortable posting something within the next 24 hours. But we're kind of down to a ticking clock now. But there was opportunities in the past. I just don't know with the new format that you're going to be able to.
Yeah, it's just intriguing because of the way that they're going now. It's similar to the Olympics. They're going to have multiple games, and there's a lot to it now, and we are uncertain of what exactly is going to happen. So maybe this year there may be less betting lines than next year if they want to continue this type of thing. But we'll have to just wait and see. I'm personally kind of stoked for it because I like to see this type of stuff. Obviously, I wish the Pro Bowl was still the way it was, but obviously can't be like that. Fans aren't very happy with the game, so the NFL is going to have to do something about it. But RJ, thank you very much for hopping on with us. Tell the people where they can find you online and on socials.
You can find me at sportsline.com with all my picks throughout the year. We also are releasing a Sportsline Super Bowl props guide, which you can find at CBS with links to all of our Super Bowl content. We'll have all the odds updated as we go, and as the books release things. There's hundreds of odds, all sorts of crazy things you can bet on. Will there be 3 unanswered scores in a game? Will there be a score in the first 6 minutes of a game? All these great props. So we're going to break it all down at Sportsline, and you're going to be able to find our guide, a landing page with all that content on CBS Sports. You can also find me on Twitter at RJWhite1.
Great stuff. RJ, you have a great rest of the day. We cannot wait to talk with you about Super Bowl action nonstop next Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff by him. He always comes in clutch, and I really did want to know a little bit more about the Pro Bowl games and how the betting works around that because, again, I haven't really heard of it, and I don't know how you would even do it in the past because the game was so kind of rigged in a way. It always felt scripted, or there wasn't any defensive play, and I mean now it's totally different. We don't know what is going to happen, and maybe, you know what, maybe RJ knew a little bit more, but even him, he doesn't. He's a little unclear. Yeah, unclear. I was not going to say he's insecure, okay? He's unclear about what the game is going to bring, so maybe we got to give it a year, Bandi, and then next year we can start betting on some of the individual games or something like that.
I mean, like, what's kind of the saying, like, if you can play, you can probably bet on it.
Yeah.
Or something like.
I had a feeling there was some betting going in.
Like, if it's something that's going down, you can probably bet on it in Vegas or something. Like, you can bet on anything.
Of course. That's a main reason why I wanted to ask about it. See if there's any betting out on it right now, because I know when the Super Bowl comes, there's going to be a lot of betting lines, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit more next week with him.
Kind of like Tyler Huntley over under 50% in the precision passing contest.
Yeah, probably something like that is going to come out right when the event's about to start. Honestly, the day of, that is Thursday, which is tomorrow, which is crazy that this week's flying by so fast. But
I've seen people parlay on coin tosses and
how long the national anthem goes on for.
Yeah, how long? That's a classic. How long the national anthem goes on for?
That was good.
What was it? I've seen like a 4-thing parlay hit because this guy bet on like 4 different players to make the first shot in a basketball game, like who's gonna get the first basket.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna win the tip-off? Like, it's crazy just how detailed you can get.
Yeah, it is really crazy, and it's just more to bet on moving forward in the football world. And whenever we do get to that Wednesday next week, we will talk even more Super Bowl action. We'll be talking a little bit about all the different lines that we could probably bet on going forward. But again, that is RJ White with Sportsline.com. So you guys check him out on the socials, check him out online, and then you know what? Check this out. When we come back, it's going to be the play-by-play with the Bandi Man. Yeah, that's right. We're getting into the gaming side of things, so don't go anywhere because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
From the University
University of Alabama. This is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, a true Southern flavor since 1947, and the official smoked sausage of the Crimson Tide. Visit online at ConecuhSausage.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Alabama women's basketball guard Hannah Barber will join us this week on Thursday's Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, and she shared what's made her senior season so special.
Obviously, from a basketball perspective, to just continue to push our program forward, which is one of the reasons why I came to Alabama, like being in my home state and having the opportunity to push our program to places that it's been before, to kind of get it back there. That was super special to be a part of. And then from an academic standpoint, having the opportunity to get a master's, super grateful for that as well. So all in all, it's been better than I could have asked for.
I'll have more in a moment.
Favorite jeans, favorite shirt. Got Conecuh sausage and I'm firing it up. Yeah, everybody knows it's how I get my grill on. You can smell that flavor up and down the road. It's a little taste of heaven, and everybody knows. That's how I get my grill on. Conecuh sausage. It's just a little taste of heaven.
Here's more from Hannah Barber.
Looking back, I think we've gotten a chance to kind of get a rhythm and understand what conference play feels like, because again, there were so many people on our team who hadn't had that experience before. So for them to come in January and compete the way that they have, it's really a testament to the kind of people that we have on our team to be able to step into that position and just continue to fight and continue to be resilient.
Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Conecuh Sausage. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
The Blitz has been called.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Afternoon Blitz here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network. I'm the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry, joined across the glass, across the aisle, by Captain Cool John Abraham.
Hey.
Wow, very far away from the mic.
I mean, these blanks, dude, they pick up everything. So, I mean, I could be like a good foot away and they'd still get me.
They pick up absolutely everything.
Like, literally everything. They even picked up me once. They threw me.
They picked you up and threw you?
They picked me up and threw me. They got these little elbows. I know this one's a little weak over here, Bandi, but okay, that's enough.
It needed the rubber band. It was getting too tired.
It really did.
But welcome back to the Afternoon Blitz. I'd like to remind you that this hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place.
For the best vehicles.
For the best prices.
Oh, yeah. Drive home in a brand new 2023 Ford Bronco, a beautiful Ford Mustang, V6, V4, V8, whatever you guys want. Grab one of those. And there's also the Mach-E, as well as a bunch of different trucks, including the Maverick, including the Ranger, and the F-150, always reliable right there. And then they also have used vehicles. And you can just go and check them out and get your car serviced. It doesn't matter if you got a Ford or not. Bobby White and his crew will take care of you guys. So find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Indeed, Bobby White and his crew will take care of you, even if you don't have a Ford.
You don't need to have a Ford.
You don't need to have a Ford.
Just because it's Woody Anderson Ford doesn't matter, okay? It could be Woody Anderson anything.
Yeah, they'll treat your car with 100% effort and respect.
Yes, sir.
No matter what make or model.
Oh, yeah, more respect than Alabama put on Vanderbilt last night. I could say that much.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no kidding.
I'm not going to forget about that. 101 to 44.
Whew.
Not heard of. Not heard of.
Sorry, they were on the other end of that. Sorry, Mr. Bishop, for yesterday.
Yeah, very much sorry.
But we've gotten the sports news out of the way. It's on to the gaming news. And we got a good amount of gaming news today. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, it looks fantastic. It got delayed by 6 weeks.
Oh.
So, again, not a very long time, but still, being delayed, not a fan, but hopefully that'll give it more time for some spick and polish.
Yeah.
Apex Legends Mobile has shut down. I thought about that a little bit yesterday, but another mobile game is also shutting down.
Mobile?
On top of it. And we got more details on the Resident Evil 4 remake coming out. That's all coming up here on the E Play-by-Play.
You said it was another mobile game?
From a AAA company.
Time to catch up on esports with E Play-by-Play with the Bandi Man.
All right, so starting off first, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I can't wait for this game. I've had a lot of fun with the Fallen Order and like the first game of the franchise, and the way that really they've done it, and they've made kind of like a Star Wars Souls-like in a way.
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying playing it. It's not easy either. It's tough combat-wise, kind of like a mix of Souls combat and like Arkham series.
Okay.
But either way, tough to learn, very fun. I'm gonna start playing that when I'm finally done with Hi-Fi Rush because I'm 100%ing that game. But Apex Legends Mobile is shutting down May 1st. Sadly, that news came out yesterday. But also, Battlefield Mobile is going to be shutting down as well.
Battlefield Mobile?
Battlefield Mobile.
The heck is that?
There was no date provided for it. I mean, it was in the works.
Oh.
Like, it was going to be coming out. It was going to be a mobile Battlefield experience. Like, huge maps, kind of the same thing you would get on console and PC. But EA said that they will be ceasing development. Industrial Toys, the studio behind Battlefield Mobile, is also being shut down altogether.
Said see you guys.
Yep, despite Apex Mobile strong start, the ongoing experience was not going to meet the expectations of our players, explained EA in a statement. After months of working with our development partner, we have made the mutual decision to sunset the mobile game and also decided to stop the development of the current Battlefield Mobile title. As the industry has evolved and our will to create deeply connected Battlefield ecosystem has taken shape, we decided to pivot from the current direction to best on our vision for the franchise and to meet the expectations of our players. Because I will say the expectations of those players are pretty low after 2042. You can't really fumble the bag harder than what you did with 2042.
Yeah, it was a bad game.
Because at this point, they kind of just want to forget about it.
Yeah. It's not too bad now. I mean, they're fixing it
It
up.
was awful.
They're fixing it up, all right.
Not even Game Pass could save it.
They're fixing it up, guys.
Not even Game Pass could save Battlefield 2042.
Rip.
So I'm all for the direction of just scrapping it, starting anew, and just starting fresh with Battlefield. Just get 2042 and the mobile game out of our minds. Move on to a bigger and better project.
Bandi,
You know what? Let's do Battlefield 1, 2.
Yeah, I mean, that one was pretty good, and it looks better than the newest game they've got out right now, I will say.
Yeah, actually, Battlefield 1's pretty fun.
It is very fun. I actually have that one downloaded instead of the other ones on the console. But, Bandi, there's actually another game that you did not bring up that is also going to be dead after a few days.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a game you actually talked about for a while. You want to know what it is?
Oh, no.
He choked. I didn't even tell him. He started choking.
I choked on water, but I think I know where you're going with this.
Water in a coffee cup right there. But no, it was actually, it's a Battle Royale game.
Yep.
All right? And it is the one, the only Rumbleverse. It's dead, guys.
I hate to say, yeah, Rumbleverse also announced yesterday, pretty late yesterday after the show.
He's still dying
My
over there.
God.
Bandi, it's all right. I'll take it away.
Never try to breathe and drink water.
Man's on a show trying to drink
my
in the
gosh.
first place. Yeah, but the live service of Rumbleverse will be turned off on Tuesday, February 28th. Oops, that stinks. At 10 a.m. Central Time when Season 2 concludes. That's right, it only got 2 seasons in, everybody, and it is already dead. The website's just a sad reminder of what we had and what we're going to be losing, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Because I really liked it. I liked Rumbleverse a lot because it took the Battle Royale genre that have been pretty oversaturated at this point. I mean, every Battle Royale is just pretty much a first-person shooter at this point. But Rumbleverse took the idea and said, you know what? Let's make a 3D third-person view wrestling Battle Royale. And fighting Battle Royale.
Just like a Fortnite DLC.
Yeah, and what's cool, it was fun. Like, pile driving people off of skyscrapers would never get old. Like, you could not go wrong with it.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see it have to be sunsetted as well. I think it was a very unique game and a very unique entry into the Battle Royale genre. And before it shuts down, I highly recommend everyone try it.
So I gotta say, why is it dying? Like, why is it going out? It's just nobody's playing it?
It just wasn't popular enough. Like, it just wasn't getting enough support. Like, not enough people were playing it. It wasn't getting enough concurrent players. I mean, Multiverses is kind of getting to that same point.
Oops. Well,
not gonna lie.
I mean, it stinks though, because back in the day we used to get games all the time, and they used to be able to have long lives. Even now, you can still hop on some games. Like, I forgot the exact name of it, but Evolve. Yeah, you can still hop on Evolve. You remember that came out, and you can still play it. This game, it's gonna be gone forever. You're not gonna be able to hop on this anymore. So it's gonna be weird to see what happens to it, but I hate that this is the trend that we're going with, where if games aren't doing well, they just completely just stop them, and that's what you're going to get with a lot of these Battle Royale type games.
And speaking of game stopping, remember Marvel's Avengers?
Yeah.
Because that's ceasing support.
Oh.
That's shutting down as well. I mean,
dang.
But on the plus side, the devs announced that all marketplace cosmetics, emotes, takedowns, etc. will be free for all players who own a copy of the game.
Very nice.
RIP to the player who spent money on those cosmetics when they came out.
I know. You should have just waited until the game died, and then you could get it all for free.
Yeah, but I mean, how can you anticipate that in the future? I mean, it's not like your entire game was built around repetitive level design and repetitive missions, as well as giving PlayStation exclusively Spider-Man.
Boo! Maybe they'll just put Spider-Man on Xbox as well.
They won't.
They won't.
You think a Sony property is going to go to Xbox?
Hell no.
No. PC, it's all it's going to be getting.
Yeah.
And even then, it takes years. Still waiting still waiting for that Spider-Man 2 announcement. God of War Ragnarok on PC when?
Yeah.
I mean,
2 years from now.
Please.
Maybe a few
Can we
more.
get Infamous ports?
One day.
I mean, does anybody remember Infamous?
I remember. I loved Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous was awesome.
It's cool.
I wonder if I still got it.
Probably.
Man, it's probably just showing in my closet somewhere. But we've got new details because from the Resident Evil 4 remake. And when I tell you that this year is going to be just like a absolute killer of a year for survival horror, no pun intended. It's going to be an absolute banger of a year for survival horror. I mean, we already got the fantastic Dead Space remake, 9s and 10s across the board. We're going to be getting the Silent Hill 2 remake later in the year. We got future Silent Hill projects coming up. We've got the Resident Evil 4 remake coming out. And I'm trying to remember, there's another, it's got to be on the tip of my tongue. There's got to be like another entry, I believe. There's another survival horror release. I'll remember it later. But we got new details about what's coming to the game. And Capcom, I'm glad that they're doing this because they did not want to start from scratch. Because again, why rebuild what isn't broken? Resident Evil 4 was already and still is a fantastic game if you've never played it. Instead, they're going to be turning everything to 11. You know what that means?
It means a lot of scary stuff.
Turn up the horror. Because Resident Evil 4 was like that perfect midpoint in the series between really scary and kind of like the action stuff that they would later evolve into, you know?
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 3, like the graphics were like it was good and scary at the time. Like Nemesis made an impression on his first reveal. And then Resident Evil 4, you're looking for the president's daughter. You're going through this, through this village, and all the villagers seem to be part of a religious cult and hypnotized or brainwashed under like the main guy Salazar, and you got to figure out what's going on. And the environment is great, the settings are great, everything is creepy, and now with a fresh coat of paint in the Resident Evil engine, it's gonna look even scarier. Because we got side quests now in the game, which weren't there before, new enemies, a new crossbow weapon. I'm kind of sad about this one, no quick time events. Typically I'd be like, no quick time events? Oh, sweet. I don't have to worry about that at all. But Resident Evil 4 had some really cool quick time events.
Yeah. Like
during the boss fights, I mean, you got the Krauser fight, like all of this different stuff. And I think QTEs are actually used very well in Resident Evil 4. I mean, the iconic boulder chasing. that's always used as a GIF or a GIF. How do you call it?
I say GIF.
GIF.
GIF?
Well, it's graphic interchange format, so yeah, GIF.
I always say GIF. Yeah. Some people say GIF. You're crazy.
R3, like the right stick, is used to command Ashley. Thank God. One of the biggest complaints of the original game, though, is Ashley. Because, again, you got to protect her. A lot of the game can be considered like an escort mission because you got to protect her at the same time and get her out. So you would like hide her in a dumpster while you take out the enemies and then bring her out, or command her to do stuff. But now it seems like you can actually give truly more direct commands to Ashley through the use of the right stick. So it might be a little bit more in tune. I'm just scared. Oh, breakable knives. This is interesting too. A good change. Whenever Ashley would get captured, they would pick her over her shoulder and try to walk off the screen with her. And then if she gets taken off screen, game over. You lost the president's daughter again. You had one job. But now you can actually run up to enemies, stab them in the neck, and make them drop her, which you could not do in the original game to kind of like recover yourself and get everything reset,
That's cool, actually.
But it breaks your knife.
That's
There was
fine.
a little bit of a risk of reward to it.
I don't care. You find another knife. That's totally fine. At least you can save what you had going down for you. By the way, I have the list of all of the horror games that are coming out this year.
Oh boy, what do we got?
Obviously, Dead Space Remake, okay?
Indeed.
We also have the Dark Pictures Switchback VR for PlayStation VR 2.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty cool. It's a little Rails game. Sons of the Forest. This one's on the PC. Yeah. We have The Day Before, which is on all consoles and PC.
I haven't heard of A Day Before yet. Sons of the Forest will be interesting, though.
Yeah. We have Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse Remastered.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that the Fatal Frame was getting a new game, but it's coming out on everything.
I didn't know either. Very underrated series.
Yeah. Obviously, Resident Evil 4, and then we have the System Shock remake as well.
Yes.
Then Alan Wake 2.
Ooh.
Aliens Dark Descent, which that one, I guess it's a survival horror, but not really.
On Aliens Dark Descent. Is that gonna be the follow-up to Isolation?
It's a top-down. I believe it's a 4-person co-op game.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, and then we have Layers of Fear, Silent Hill Ascension, and that'll round them out right now.
That's a good year. That's
not a bad year.
That's a very good year for survival horror.
Yeah.
Layers of Fear. I've heard a lot of people say good things about it. I never enjoyed it.
Oh.
You know why? Jump scares, I think, are the stupidest thing to me.
If you use them too much, it's just, come on, like, get out of here with it.
It's a very cheap scare.
Yeah.
And Layers of Fear built their whole thing around it.
Yeah, and it's one of those fears, too, that it's like, and I'm glad you brought this up. It is a very cheap scare because it's like, it scares you right off the bat, and sometimes it doesn't if they do it too many times, but it scares you and then it's gone. Yeah. I like the type of fear where it kind of builds it up, and then something's supposed to happen, or at least you think it's supposed to happen, and then it just continues with it. And that lingering fear is 10 times better than just a quick little ooh, I got a little hit, I got a little ooh, I'm scared.
Like, hey, I got you.
Yeah, I know. And then it just okay, it's gone, I like building the setting around the scene, and then you're able to kind of feel what the characters are feeling. And then if you want to throw in a jump scare, make it a little bit new. Do something else with it instead of just having a face just pop out right in front of you nonstop.
Yeah, and then there's literally a game called Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion.
Spookies?
Yeah, no, if you never played it, actually very good. It's like an indie horror game.
Okay.
But I actually use jump scares in a way where it's not overbearing.
This game does look like an indie game.
Yeah, but it's really cool in the way that you're pretty much constantly being chased, and like all the rooms change with each floor you go up in the mansion.
Yeah.
Like it's a very well-made game, but I think I'm trying to remember if it's for free on Steam or not.
I'm looking at it on Steam right now. It is free, and then there's some content that you can buy.
Yeah, good stuff.
Can I install Steam on my MacBook?
Yeah.
Can I?
I mean, yeah. There's games that are compatible with Mac.
Are there a lot of games that are compatible with Mac?
I don't know if you're gonna get like AAA titles that are compatible, but I mean, there are gonna be some. You play Balloons?
I wish you could just get the Xbox app, honestly, on the MacBook. It's really annoying that you can't.
Yeah. But Activision.
Okay.
Modern Warfare 2. Why do you refuse to listen to your player base? Because, again, the biggest complaint about Warzone 2, or at least one of the biggest complaints about Warzone 2, hasn't really been the weapons. At least from a weapon standpoint, I found things to be, except for a couple of exceptions, Fennec. The game has been relatively balanced. Like, it hasn't been, like, completely overbearing, like, which gun is one gun ruining them all in the meta, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like how we would in past Warzone. But one of the biggest complaints has been the AI. And that there seems to be AI all over the map. And now they are ignoring the wishes of the players to just tone down the AI in future maps. Well, with the Resurgence map, Ashika Island coming out with Season 2, they have ignored that, and they are throwing AI into the small Rebirth Resurgence map. So you know what this means. Smaller map. AI squads.
There's so much AI.
We're going to be seeing a lot more interaction with these. A lot more than what you would see on typical Battle Royale Warzone 2. And these AI are no joke. I mean, they will melt you very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to kind of start out that they are making some changes to revert it back to Warzone 1, so maybe you have more of a fighting chance starting out. Like, 3-plate vests are gone. Thank God. You just all start out with one. They never drop on the ground. You always start out with 3 plates. Reviving, I think the reviving system's the same. I mean, you got looting system the same. That's going to be the same as Warzone 1. You can now plate while moving faster. You can't sprint.
Nope.
But you'll be moving faster. Great. But man, you got to tone down the AI. You got to listen to the player base. When they say the AI is too much in the game and that it's affecting the actual gameplay and game flow of every match, you got to listen to your fan base, especially in regular Battle Royale. And now that the map is smaller and you're putting AI back in there, it's just going to be more of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So either I would tone down the difficulty of the AI, or just the obvious solution, tone down how many spawn. Like, I would say for how many player squads are in the game, a fourth of those should be, like, actually probably not even a fourth, maybe like an eighth of those should be AI.
Yeah.
Like, it should be an AI squad. And you want to promote the strongholds and all your new features and all that. But I'll give it to you. Nobody likes strongholds. We want to fight other people in Battle Royale. That's kind of what we play it for.
Yeah, mainly.
We're not looking to kill AI and then try to loot up that way and then do missions on Battle Royale. No, that's what we do DMZ for.
Yeah.
But guess what? You're resetting everything in DMZ except for our insured weapons, so now what incentive do I have to grind DMZ if you're just going to reset everything at the end of the season?
Yeah, and I mean, it's one thing that took me out of playing Titanfall. Even in Titanfall 2, okay, there was mixed between AI and there was also just playable characters. There were people playing online, okay?
Yeah.
And I loved it. You know, I thought it was really fun. But I ran into the point where I was just like, there are way too many AI in this game, and I want to feel like I'm actually playing a multiplayer game instead of just a game where bots are dropped in nonstop. You know, I don't feel like I'm doing that good when I've killed 13 bots, you know. I've only killed 2 people online, okay? That's how it goes, and that kind of just takes me out of the game. And I wish that, you know, Activision would kind of take note of the games that they've killed before, like Titanfall 2. Them and Battlefield both did it, you know. And now they're moving on, and they're kind of doing the same thing that this game that they pretty much destroyed themselves were doing.
Yep, indeed. And I kind of hate to see it. I like Warzone 2. It's a shame, like, just revert back some of the changes to Warzone 1. I mean, bring back sprinting while plating.
Yeah.
Tone down the AI. I mean, and honestly, you could have yourself a great Warzone experience.
Good.
But I don't know what's holding him back. And speaking of
Money.
that, Overwatch Season 3.
Woo!
We've got more news leading up to it and about what's going to be coming. And Ramatra, you have become a fan favorite, haven't you? I've seen a lot of Ramatras online, and they're going to be toning him down in Season 3. Very well deserved, and kind of the big thing. I think like every other part of his kit is fine. His ultimate is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because chain right and you just absolutely being in their face, you can make it last for entire team fights, and there's nothing the enemy team can do about it. I mean, as long as they're tethered to an enemy, that ultimate's not running down. It's still going. And God forbid both Ramatras on your team, or like one Ramatra on your team and the other one are ulting at the same time. So we're just feeding ult off each other constantly, and it's never gonna end. I mean, granted, can you do some things to get away from them? Yes. But depending on who you're playing, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
I'm an Ana. God forbid I sleep him once. a teammate immediately wakes him up, and now my cooldown, I got my dart on cooldown for 11 seconds. I can't sleep him again. I don't have any kind of mobility. I have a grenade that heals me. That's it. I can't get away from this guy. Not a lot of heroes can. So I think what they're going to be doing is toning down his ultimate in Season 3. I think what's going to be happening, let's see. In the Season 2, the Overwatch team confirmed that they will be removing the aspect of Ramatra's Annihilation ultimate that allows it to infinitely last as long as enemies are in the vicinity. So they're removing that part. Thank goodness.
Nice.
And I've placed a 20-second cap on the ability, effective at the start of Season 3. This is not the right change. You know why? 20 seconds is a lot of time. And 20 seconds, I mean, granted, it's going to be, I believe it's still going to be able to run down if you're not tethered to an enemy.
Yeah.
So that's still going to be happening. But 20 seconds, that is still an entire team fight and a half. At least. 20 seconds is a lot of time in video game time. I mean, that's 2 sets of cooldowns right there. Fights could be over at that point. So I don't know if this will effectively limit how, I don't think it'll be limit, I don't think it'll affect how good the ult actually is. Let's see. Let's see, any other changes that they have made? Yep, that's led to unhealthy gameplay scenarios, of course, where opposing teams felt hopeless fighting against. Yes. I'm sorry my 1cc ability did not stop you, and you are still charging at me with the full force of a 300-pound bull. 20 full seconds of 30 damage per second is definitely still a lot of damage, though. Because the nano swarm around him still does 20. It does 30 damage per second. That's a lot. That means if, let's see, I'm a 200 HP hero. Yeah, if I'm in that thing for 7 seconds, I die. Just from that ult. Not counting everything else that's trying to hit you.
I die.
So I don't know if this nerf will effectively change it enough. Honestly, I'm cool with shortening this to maybe 13 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And reducing the radius by like 2 meters. So that way it's harder to stay tethered onto an enemy, which is one of the main problems. But that's neither here nor there. We'll get more news as Season 3 is approaching. But we got to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show, so do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Guys, when we were 20, we never had to worry about spontaneity. And now that we've gotten older, spontaneity has been replaced with pills and injections. We're just trying to keep that intimacy, but it's taken away from spontaneity. At Advanced Life Clinic, we now offer Gainswave, which uses sound waves to non-invasively treat this issue with no need for pills or injections. Just give us a call, 256-888-9367, or check us out online, advancedlifeclinic.com.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop. If you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. all done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So, if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car, because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. You know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car and no license and no money was no fun. And hey, you know what else you don't see? You don't see me leaving for work in the morning, because I missed so much time with court and everything that I got fired.
Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The Blitz has been called.
Hey, hey, what? Just nobody's gonna continue it.
We're never gonna get it right.
We're gonna. We got it pretty close. We didn't even talk about it that time, so I gotta say that was pretty good.
We got it right one time.
Yeah.
And we have not been able to replicate it since.
I mean, if we talked about it before, we'd probably be able to sync it up pretty well because we're professionals like that. But welcome back, everybody, to the Afternoon Blitz. Final segment here on a wacky Wednesday. Gotta admit, this episode flew by, but there was a lot of news to cover, so I'm understanding of why. Now, I want to finish off the show by talking a little bit of Tom Brady because I gotta finish it off because I don't want to bring this into tomorrow because once Tom Brady's retired, he's retired. We cannot drag this out any longer because as soon as we finish talking about him, he's gonna be back into the league. So either way, you guys gotta know that this second hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place to get the best vehicles for
the best price.
Of course. I saw you have to think about it for a second over there.
I hesitate. I'm like, I usually say the first part.
Make sure you guys drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you. Bobby White and his crew will take care of you guys. Find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. Now, I wanted to get into Tom Brady and his record against every single NFL team here. And I know we only have a few minutes, so we're going to be quick about it. But the team he has beaten the most is the Buffalo Bills, which makes sense because a lot of that time was with Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay? And he wasn't the best with that Bills team. So he has a 33-3 record against the Bills, okay? That's pretty wonky. That's pretty bonkers to see because you see the Bills now and they're amazing, okay? Bandi against your Lions, he's 5-2.
Hey,
pretty reasonable right there.
All right.
He's also, hardly ever played him, so there's that too. The Browns, he's 7-2, and against Chad's Falcons, he's 10-1.
Well,
I mean, he would have been. He would have
been 9-2.
9-2, yeah. If Matt Ryan and the Falcons were able to win that Super Bowl. Chad's upset. Chad's upset about it. It's terrible.
Terrible.
If you guys can hear him, I mean, he's pretty upset about it. Yes, Tom Brady has a little bit of privilege in the NFL. The only 3 teams he has not lost to, on the other hand, are the Patriots, which he has beaten once.
Makes sense.
It was his 32nd team he has beaten. The Buccaneers, he's 4-0 against them. And then, to everybody's surprise, well, actually, no, there's actually 2 more teams. The Cowboys, 7-0 against the Cowboys, of course, we remember that.
Always good to see.
And then 6-0 against the Vikings. Yeah, there you go. Didn't the Cowboys play him in the playoffs?
Yeah, the Bucs won. Oh, wait, no, they didn't play him in the playoffs. No, the Cowboys.
The Cowboys played the Buccaneers in the first round. So that's wrong right there.
Well, yeah, that's wrong.
That's wrong. So he hasn't beat. He's 7-1 against the Cowboys. Either way, for the fun episode to come to an end, sorry guys, it's gotta happen, but in 22 hours we will be back in these seats talking the same hullabaloo with you, for me, for the Bandi Man, for Chad as the interim producer for the show. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can